Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. The stunning, one of my favourites, the Old Course at Vilamoura. I feel like this golf course owes me something, I really do, because every time I come around here I feel like I play quite well. I never quite get the job done, and to be fair, I always come here for Pro-Ams. There is a Pro-Am going on today, but it's behind us. But I'm going to do a break par round here, but with a slight twist. I recently heard on Decade Golf that you shouldn't be focusing on trying to make birdies, but actually trying to focus on not making bogeys gives you the opportunity to score better. Well, today we're going to have a little look at that. So my objective off every approach shot is, how do I avoid making a bogey and do the birdies naturally come? Let's get out onto the golf course and see how I get on. So normally I would go with driver down here because I'd normally have a little pop at it, but it all does massively bottlenecks in. So I only want to float it down there to about, well, 225 off the tee, but it is downhill, which will leave me my sand wedge in, which is in the sort of fattest area of the golf course. The other thing we need to notice as well is, because I'm out here doing loads of filming, I've only brought half of my set out. So I've got no 3-wood, no 3-iron, so I've got 5-wood in my hand. Right, Joe, come on. That is way too many coffees this morning, that. Fired up like a bloody trooper. Out the flag. Hold it up. There we go. That should be about 225. Nice and steady off the first. Let's see how we get on. No bogeys today. Come on. Okay. Bound to get snags early on. I hit that a little bit softer than I planned, or probably, well, first swing of the day, isn't it? So I'm actually only got it down here about 210 yards, so I've left myself about 118 to the flag, so a little bit longer than I was kind of hoping for. 118 to the flag. I'm just going to try and thump a 50 because I haven't got my pitching wedge. Should be about right. Just pulled that a little bit. Go on, down they go. Oh, plenty of club, wasn't it? Absolutely plenty of club, that. Got to remember as well, the over here, because it's going to be a hot day today, we're going to get up in the 20s, 25s. Ball just seems to fly a little bit further when you're abroad, doesn't it? So, one of the things that, when I went to tour school with my brother, one of the things that jumped out to me, this is years and years ago, was that all these top players, because that's what they are when they go to tour school, they're pretty much top players. It's amazing how good they were for being pin high. And in that shot there, what I had 118 yards, I got it to pin high, which never feels like you're that far away from the actual hole if you can get it to that position. So it's just something for you to think about. If you want to try and focus on lowering your scores, distance control really important. Okay, greens were quick on that putting green, very quick. Gonna go uphill and then downhill to that hole, isn't it? Swing hard, swing hard. Okay, not bad to get us going. Well, that was pretty stress-free, wasn't it? Could be something in this Decade Golf thing, you know. I don't know much about it, but one little Instagram story and we're off creating a video around it. Level par. Just shy of 500 yards this second hole, par 5. If you can just see that overhanging tree there on the left-hand side, I just want to kind of avoid that. First impressions, gotta say, like, I know this has been a bit of a takeover for the Old Course, but it just feels more premium already. The cart paths have been redone. Everything just feels clearer, cleaner, can see a little bit more around the place. Get a good bounce forward then. That's running, isn't it? Considering it's quite damp this morning, we're up there. So 238 to the middle, actually 238 to the flag, but playing probably 10, it's saying it's got about 10 yards uphill on my kind of slope system, but it feels like it's longer than that. It's a perfect 3-wood, I don't have it, so I've got my 5-wood. I'm gonna get it up there as close as I can, really. I'll talk you through an interesting stat that I saw the other day actually as well. Trying to hook out as much as I can, get up there. Didn't sit down on the light, I couldn't see much. It's okay, just up the right hand side. Slopiest, literally the slopiest green in Vilamoura, this one. You kind of want to try and keep yourself a little bit on the low side of this hole. I think I had a sneaky little eagle here in the Pro-Am when I played here last. I think it all went a little bit downhill after that, probably got a bit too excited as I do. Oh, a little bit of root action. Sit down, sit, 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 don't go too far past. A bit of root action there. It's okay, we're alright, everyone's okay, hands are alright. Got to be careful. Good little tip for you actually, if ever you get around, because obviously there's roots around here. Something Joe the Pro taught me is, you know, don't be afraid to, round the golf ball, just dig in where you are. So just to see if you can feel a root or anything like that, because you don't want to be hurting yourself smacking into roots. Obviously lots of trees. So this one here, I mean, you want to think, because I could reach it in two pretty much, you got to get your mind away from thinking about the birdie and thinking about, okay, let's just cozy this up, and if it drops in, then it's a little bit of a result. I think we'll kind of go into a bit more thought on what I think about and how this is so different to how I think when I'm playing, and probably this is going to resonate with so many of you, but we'll get this hole over and done with and maybe have a little bit of a buggy chat about that. Steady. Quick down the hill, very quick. Okay, at least I got it, well, we'll talk about that later as well. I got it past the cup, didn't I? But that was so fast down there. I did say, I didn't listen to my own advice there, did I? Because I did say this was the slopiest green in Vilamoura, and it is. That's why it was so quick down there. Anyway, tight tee shot coming up. 300 and about 350, 360 off this back tee. This tee literally like a runway. But it's playing up massively uphill, so it's going to play probably closer to 380. So I'm going to hit driver. Because I should hit it into the widest part of the hole, and then hopefully not leave me loads in, you know. Not getting the cut this morning. Go on, up you go. Don't get tucked in behind that tree too much. Okay, it's a fairway. We're off and running. Hopefully I don't have to deal with that tree up there. It's quite big. So just wanted to come back to you about emotionally, because ultimately what I think what disappoints me or frustrates me maybe a little bit with all the stat guys out there, and the game of golf is now built on statistics, isn't it? Paul McGinley and people like that, Brando over in America, they don't help that situation. However, everybody wants to talk about a stat, and obviously with Decade Golf of focusing on more of a, you could say it's more of a negative approach, isn't it? Playing golf in a don't do this approach rather than a do this approach, which I've got to get my head around, because ultimately I would have walked off that hole there feeling a little bit distressed, should we call it, stressed more than anything else, the fact that I've not made a birdie on a par 5. And for me, I always think about trying to make birdies because I know that I'm going to mess up holes. I know that. I don't play enough golf as in like competitively to be able to go out there and know that I'm going to play a round of golf without making bogey. So I know that I'm going to make, you know, statistically, let's go statistics, I'm going to make 4 or 5 bogeys in a round, which hopefully if this approach changes that and makes me shoot only 2 bogeys a round, well, I'm always averaging around 2 birdies a round, so that equals out to around level par, which for me is very good golf. But it's just a different mindset. I walk off that green a little bit disappointed I've not made birdie. So this is a very different approach to what I would be normally thinking about. I mean, I gotta say, like, because obviously it's improved around here, the people that own the properties around here must be, I mean, not like making it sound like it was really bad before. It was never bad before. It was a beautiful golf course, but it just seems cleaner. And you got to think, when you've got a house like that sat on this property, you're quite happy that it has improved, because everything just goes up in price, doesn't it? 110 yards this is playing. I've got about 105 yards. We're playing 5 yards uphill. This for me, this is like 110 yards is my 50. So I'm going to go with 50-degree wedge, but I need to hoist it a little bit. My window is just a little bit below the top of that tree, so I need to just probably open this up a fraction, make sure I get it in the air quickly. And if I give it a bit more of a thump with an open face, it should then go roughly that yardage. Just short of this hole is probably not a bad thing either. Oh, go a little bit. That's a bit hoisty, DH. Go with it. Okay, we're on literally on the edge. I just opened it up maybe a bit too much, thinking I was going to clip that tree, which obviously, as you know, if you add loft, you're going to add or take yardage off. And that's why it's come up just on the front edge. Cool, that was nice. Stress-free, wasn't it, that? Kind of felt stress-free. I've made some big numbers on this hole over the years. I don't know why. It's all about your tee shot. If you get your tee shot a little bit out of position off the here, you've got where you're blocked out a lot of the time, and then you're trying to hook things or go under trees and things like that. So you end up literally all over the place. But stress-free pars I've had so far, I feel. 169 to this flag. Now, if we're talking about not making bogeys, over the back of this green is not particularly pleasant, so I don't have a 6-iron, which that would probably be just a smooth 6 for me. So I'm going to thump a 7. 7-iron's a 160 club. So if I can get it on the front edge or around the front edge, it's not bad. But also if I go in the bunker short because of the 7-iron, I don't think that's as bad either than certainly hitting 5-iron over the back. So remember, we're trying to play for no bogeys. Desperately need a strike here to get it all the way back to that green. I've not got it, so that's got to fly on that line. Go! Go! Oh, it's on the front edge, I think. That's okay. I'm actually relatively happy with that result, really. Right, I'm electing to putt because obviously I'm literally like 3 or 4 centimeters off the edge, and the grass is all lying kind of that way towards the hole as well, which makes it a lot easier. So just again, the focus really is for me here. It's a pretty flattish green. It's one of the flatter greens on the course, if I remember rightly. More subtle breaks than big breaks. So it's kind of just like the last putt, just trying to get that pace right. Slightly uphill, that's going to be a bit slow. Keep going, ball, keep going. Pretty good for line, wasn't it? Just a fraction shy. It was. You kind of notice it more when the ball's rolling of how actually uphill that is, just here. And puts the first little bit of pressure on me for the day, I think, that one. Definitely feel it, you know. So many thoughts going through my mind over that putt. It's just like, just got to the point where I was a little bit on the negative side there. I was just saying to myself, all you can do, you've read the putt, all you can do is put the best stroke you can on it, and whatever the result is, you have to accept it before you hit the putt. Just kind of calms you down a little bit. Got a little bit fortuitous on this tee because there is actually a back tee right back there, but it's out of play. They're obviously just doing some work on it, recovering it. Just shy of 500 off this tee, so you'd like to think with a decent drive we could look at getting there hopefully in 2. Keep cutting, baby. Oh, that's such a good hit. Go on, get the cart path or something. Oh, it did, I think. It's just down the left side. I think that's hit the cart path and given us maybe a little bit of hopefully a kick forward. Do you know, when I played PGA Catalunya, right, in the Pro-Am there, we used to go there every year for a Pro-Am. And for a couple of years I took a couple of old boys from Torquay, and because we were off the back tees, Pro-Am, they couldn't get to a lot of the fairways. So I used to say to them, you know, aim for that cart path, and I promise you, right, in one round of golf, I asked him to hit 4 cart paths, he hit 3 of them, and he got the bounce onto the fairway. That's talent, I would say. So we've hit the cart path, we've clipped this tree and we've dropped straight down just off the edge of the path here. Interestingly, I've got 208 yards. I'm not really too concerned about the trees in front of me. I'm sure I can hoist it up and over the top of those. But like now, I would, if I was playing probably a Pro-Am, I'd be thinking birdie because it's a par 5. I want to try and get it there. So I'd be like trying to hit possibly a high cutting 5-wood or something like that, which is what I would probably try and play. However, because we're focusing more on, you know, not making bogeys, because, you know, you get it slightly wrong with a 5-wood, pull it slightly, there's cart paths kind of everywhere around here, so you can end up in the clubhouse before you know it. So I'm going to hit 5-iron, still hoist it up. I know I'm going to come up probably just a little bit short, and then hope for the chip and putt if we can, but try and avoid that bogey. I mean, it's come out like a knuckleball, just don't get caught behind that tree up there. Well, that could have, I'll tell you what, it flew out of there. That's just going to be kind of just short of pin high, just short of the green. And it may be in that trap, which is not a bad thing either. Right, this is nice actually, because I've come up just shy of that trap. Got loads of green to work with. It's all about strike. Ball's not in a bad spot. I'd probably normally use a 60 from here, which I haven't got, so I've got my 56. I'm being quiet because I'm teeing off the first. Come on then, DH. Hop, skip and a jump forward. Okay, first chance, real chance of our birdie. I don't know how to feel right now. You know, normally I'd be like, come on, let's get excited, birdie time. But I'm just, I'm kind of trying to get into more of a chilled out state, you know, of not trying to make birdies, but not trying to make birdies, but not trying not to make bogeys. It's a very different way of thinking, I'll tell you. That is a birdie, I'm not getting excited. Next hole's a toughy little par 3, which we've got to avoid the bogey on. 1 under. Who would have thought that, eh? Playing negative, what feels like negative golf. And half a set of clubs. 236 off this back tee. Playing downhill, so playing about 215. So it is trusty. To be fair, if I had it, I'd probably hit my 3-iron down here. I think that would be the number, really, 205, 207 club. But we're going to just play this just like I played off the first tee. Would be a nice little swing, DH. Slide hard. That's probably trapped by the look of that. Go on. Never saw it down. Probably not the miss, if I'm honest. It's probably a little bit right of that would be ideal, but I think we're bunker. Right, we did. I couldn't see it down, but it did just hop into the trap on a slight downslope. So it's going to land. When it lands, it's going to want to shoot forward, and obviously we're still a little bit dewy this morning, so it's going to definitely not. Well, I'm going to struggle to get the spin. But I need to leave myself a little bit down the right-hand side of this hole, because that will leave me the best opportunity to make the par. It's really well played. Go on, up you go. Get up there then. Stop there. Stop. Big swing on the screen. Stop. To be fair, I don't think I could have played that much better, other than aiming a little bit further to the left-hand side to play for that slope. But when you're coming off a bit of a down slope, ball below your feet at the same time, you're going to probably get a little bit of a shoot to the right, which is what we got. Anyway, it's a chance, isn't it? I don't think I got this far in the chit chat with the old ideas of trying to avoid making bogeys, but now I'm in a position where I've got a par putt. What am I thinking? I'm supposed to think don't make doubles. Anyway, just should move. Well, I don't see a great deal in it now. I'm over the putt, but should favour the left side a little bit. just pushed it. I didn't trust the original read. I kind of felt like it was maybe a left aft, a left edge putt, and I didn't quite trust it once I was over the putt. Anyway, I mean, think about it. There's 236 yards on the card, par 3. I mean, you know, bogey's not a bad score, is it? It's warming up, everybody. It's warming up. I don't know if it's the bogey or it's the fact that the temperature's just rising slightly for us. But you think about it, we were just talking about off camera, you know, when you've got a par 3 of over 200 yards in length, you know, what am I going to make par? Maybe 50% of the time, probably, maybe. 236 yard par 3. Anyway, moving on. We've got a par 4 wraps round from right to left, just about position off the tee, really. I mean, they have opened it up, so you could try and hit driver and cut a lot more of the corner, but I'm going to go with 5 wood, because remember, we're trying to play more strategic golf and fairways and greens, avoid the trap, bogeys. Go on, chase ball, go, 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 go. Bit spinny. Kind of a longer shot in from there. That's a lot shorter than I was thinking, that one. Right. This is where I get myself into a bit of a pickle, because I've obviously only got half a set here going on. I've got 207 on the slope, 200 yards to the middle. To the front of the green, we've got 180 to 1995. So do I play for a little bit of a flyer with a 5-iron out of that lie, because the ball's wet, it's out of that sort of Bermuda-y grass, and you saw it knuckleball on the par 5 a couple holes ago, and I'm going to try and play the 5-iron and play for the knuckleball. It's different, isn't it? But again, just short of the green. Rely on your bunker, or rely on your short game. I just think 5 wood's a lot of bat out of here for inconsistency of coming out of the rough, you know. I mean, it has knuckled, but it's knuckled a bit right on me. That could be trap, it could be in between the traps. Ooh, that's where you need a good tall caddy, you know. I wonder what Alex Evans would have told me there. He'd have probably said, what are you doing this far back, Dan? Okay. Again, just on a slight downslope, which makes this shot a little bit harder, coming down to up, which again, you've got to accept that you're not going to get a great deal of spin, which means it's so important to execute this one perfectly. Oh, bah, 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 bah. Spin, 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 spin. Oh, it just bounced on me. I dug the club in a little bit early on that, and it just bounced, which is a bit of a shame, because you could probably hear from the strike, it just wasn't the beautiful soft, it was a bit of a clunk, which is why that ball flew out just a little bit further than I was planning. Another lengthy one for me par. Keep rolling, ball. Oh. Percentage chance of me holding that putt are extremely slim. So I think probably what kind of the statistical side of it would say is that actually just nestle it down there, take your bogey, you know, you got yourself out of position off the tee by not being far enough down, and then certainly that left me to be out of position with my second shot. Not the best bunker shot in town, so all in all, it probably deserved the bogey that we got. So we've got a bit of a long one coming up here. It's a great hole. You need a good drive away, really, a good strike. Leaves you with a kind of, well, it's an uphill shot all the way into the green, but so I remember it being kind of a longish second shot in. 420 meters, so what's that, 460, then playing slightly uphill. Miss that cart path, please, that's going to hit it. Little left, caught that bit out the toe, that one. We're going to have a long shot in there, if we've got a shot. So, It's an interesting thought, right? And this is where I always kind of argue with statistics and things like that, is like emotions come into it. So for me there, instead of just standing there and lashing at it and hitting it as far down there as I possibly could, I'm focused so hard on trying to hit the fairway. So it almost feels a bit steery when I'm hitting the shot, which is negative, because when I get steery, I get a little bit ahead of it and then I smother it, which is why you've seen a lot of my drives so far where it feels like it's come out a lot lower. That's when I get ahead of it. That's me trying to hit fairways, which is not relaxing and letting go. Can't hit it any better than that. Go up there. It's 280 odd yards up there, so we're not getting there, but it's a really good recovery, and hopefully we can get up and down. Right, an interesting stat for you. From 30 yards in, the best players in the world, so the PGA Tour players, are up and downing it 86% of the time. You take them out to 50 to 80 yards and their up and downs drop to 30, about 31% or something like that. So it's a big, you know, it's only, what, 20 paces back that way, and the statistics drop massively. Anyway, wouldn't this be a nice up and down for DH? Just off the edge of the green, little 56-degree wedge, push it forward. I need that to skip forward if it can. I don't think that's bad actually. I think maybe a little bit shy. Bit of swing a little bit off that high side to downside here, so I'm seeing it a little bit off the right side. This would be a little clutch Brucey bonus if this pops in, wouldn't it? Stay. It was moving. I'm not sure if I pulled it slightly, but it definitely moved all the way there. To be fair, off the tee shot, being as I had 280 odd yards into the green, you know, it's not a bad recovery. I had a chance for a par, didn't I? Anyway, that's a birdie, bogey, bogey, bogey. Trying to keep these bogeys off the card. Whew. Let's make some birdies, come on. Now I would say we've got green light here. If you're playing with amber lights, yellow, green lights, amber lights, red lights, I would say green light. This is 265 meters. Playing, well, probably off this tee peg, playing pretty flat. Playing uphill with our second shot, but I'm going to hit driver. Back in the day, there was a lot more trouble down the right-hand side, as in they cleared it out and it looks beautiful now. So it gives you a sense of freedom a little bit more. I need to just see if I can just stay behind this a little bit more. If I get ahead of it, I get smothery. Just get lucky with that tree up there. Never saw it down. Hit it all right, just a bit bottomy, but little cutty. Just get lucky with the trees, I think. Really happy with this. Feel like I played more my own golf there rather than be defensive. Felt like I played a little bit more aggressive. Probably not got the memo right, have I, with regards to this. We're gonna have a debrief after this hole, but pretty straightforward, I feel like, up and down from here. Oh, I've landed on the upslope. Go! Oh, that's so weak. That needed a foot and a bit more, and that was absolutely stone dead there. Disappointing. Right, slightly disappointed with that shot, if I'm brutally honest with you. Got to be swinging a little bit out of that right hand side there. Keep travelling, keep moving. Stress-free, wasn't it? Stress-free. Par, but a complete giveaway in my mind, that one. Anyway, let's head over here for a little debrief, shall we? Well, interesting, isn't it? I'm 2 over par, I've had 1 birdie. If I'm honest, maybe I've probably overthought it slightly, certainly off the tee box, because I always have this sort of thought with me is that you've got to make a decision off the tee. Are you going to be more aggressive with your tee shot or more conservative with the tee shot? Are you going to take the risk off the tee, or are you going to take the risk with your second shot in? And I probably feel like I've maybe been a little bit negative going out off the tee box, which has then left me with some trickier shots coming into the holes. So I'm going to play a little bit more, I wouldn't say aggressively, but I'm going to play a little bit more positively off the tee boxes. Remember, I've only got 5-wheel driver, so I'm going to probably hit driver a little bit more, and that's a good weapon for me, driver. I can hit fairways with driver. The putting I feel really happy with, because I don't feel like I'm not stressed with putting, so I'm not wrapping it past the hole, whereas sometimes you'd see me sort of getting past the hole and then I don't hole one coming back or whatever. But I do feel that from a putting point of view, one of the reasons why I'm a good putter is because I do get it past the hole, so it always has a chance of kind of going in, should we say. So, trying to get the balance of both. I'm probably going to stick with the putting technique, as in trying to keep it nice and steady, but be a little bit more positive off the tee. Cracking par 3. Again, really tiny green, but you got to make sure you're trying to hit the green as best you can, really. 160 yards. I've got 7-iron. Again, I'm not really looking at the flag, looking more just centre of the green. Wind feels now, I can feel it a little bit, it's slightly into. Oh, DAs, that's so bad. So bad. Okay, we're okay. Oosh. Don't know what happened there, I wasn't expecting to go that far right, but might have just got my alignment slightly wrong. Chip and a putt. Okay, kind of bounced and then bounced down here, so it's not the toughest shot in golf because I've got a bit of green to work with. So green's pretty, I think, pretty flat once you get it on there. Probably missed my spot a bit right. Sit down, sit. Wow. Oh, I just thought that was going to grab a little bit out of there. Yeah, that did actually swing in that way as well, actually, so quite glad I missed it a bit right. Stay up. Oh! Ooh. Do you know what I thought then, right? Just put our order in with the bar over there, the buggy bar. Trying to get my head away from food, but I was just thinking to myself, why am I putting pressure on myself for this round of golf? This isn't actually about me. This is about the guy who's told me that you need to play like this in order to shoot better scores. So actually the pressure is on him. So I need to just chill out a little bit more. And as you can see, when I chill out a little bit more, we make some putts. 11th hole. Didn't spot this little hanging tree here. I've got to now peg it up. I just felt like that was going to be my line just down the left-hand side with a little buttery fade. Come on, dear, stay behind it. Get the height, get the carry. Miss this tree, ideally, if we can. Oh, I took it over that trap, over that buggy. We're just praying on that one because I can't see that down. It was a little bit, it was more of a braver option. But then again, we said it, didn't we? We're going to play more positively off the tee. We're in the rough down the left-hand side, but we're actually a really good angle. We've managed to, I reckon we definitely have clipped a tree. You look up here, I think there's no way my ball is not, because it's ended up right there, because I did nut it. I reckon that was the perfect line with a bit more height, you know. Anyway, 155 yards to that flag, but really that pin is tucked in on that right hand side, so you don't really want to be messing about with that one too much. So centre of the green, and one scrubber in golf. This Bermuda, it's funny grass, right? It really sits up on you, like it's sat up so much. You've got to be so careful not to hit it at the top of the club too much, because it really will it'll kill the ball speed. But then on the flip side, you've got to understand that you're going to hit up on it a little bit more because it's sat up, so you're going to take a little bit of spin off of it. That is flown. Oh my god, sit down. Sit. Okay. It may, like, really a 9-iron for me is a 140 to 145 club, so I reckon, being as it's just jumped a little bit out of that lie, I did say, catch it off the top of this grass, it's going to fly. I would say we're not far away from pin high there. So interesting, I've just wandered down to have a little look, and just to get a read from the other side, and you get a real sense of how downhill this putt is, and past the hole as well. So it's one of those that you don't want to get too excited with. Travel, now it's going to straighten up there, look. That's a decent part. It's one of those that it had double brake, it was massively downhill, so you don't need to be messing about with them too much. I think it was one of those that chances of holding it are tiny, even more so the fact that it's a bit of a double breaker in it, you know. Stress-free par-ish. 490 yard or meter par 5. So what have we got then? We got 490, so we've got 540 yard par 5. I mean, this is out your boots driver, out your boots 3-wood to get it just short for me. Dogleg round from left to right, certainly off the tee box. I always kind of hug the left side because I don't really want to be overly flirting with that trouble down the right hand side. Keep right, kick right. Yeah, it's fairway, I think. I mean, it's where I wanted to go. I didn't want to cut off too much, you know, so that'll give us an opportunity to knock one up there and chip in a putt, maybe. So good drive. Just want to try and get it up there as far as we can, really, with this 5-wood. Oh, go. Shoulder gone. That's fine. It's just on the right edge by the bunker. Oh, this is, I'll tell you what's interesting is how the grass kind of changes a little bit as you go round. So in some areas you get like a little bit of Bermuda. We're now moving into what I would call kind of the normal grass. The kind of, maybe a bent, maybe a fescue, I don't know exactly what it is. I'm sure there's someone in the comments will tell us, but got 120 yards to that flag, but playing a little bit uphill, so probably playing closer to 125. I don't trust the 9-iron because I think I might just get a little bit of a popper, a little bit of a flyer. So I'm going to go with 50 and try and hit it, be positive and hit it hard. Go! Go, go, go! Go, go, go! Have you seen the size of this divot? Let me just grab that. Got a bit excited with that one, didn't I? I knew I had to lean into it to get it there, but that was a bit hefty, wasn't it? A little bit hefty. And our breakfast is here. The old buggy bar's here. Let's just make that better, shall we? Breakfast time for me and Joe in the buggy. Because we're out nice and early, we get a little bit of... We didn't make breakfast at the hotel, so we've gone for a little cheesy, warm cheesy pastry to keep us. Look at that. Something between like a pain au chocolat with cheese. Don't know. Pasty with cheese. Gonna be nice though. Dear diary, that is delightful. I've got to say, the level, the step up of this place is phenomenal. Oh, good. Doesn't get a lot closer than that, does it? Hey? It does not get a lot closer than that. We need to make sure we get this one absolutely beautifully done because it's right next to the cup. We've got a Pro-Am kind of wrapped in behind us. So we've got to make sure that's absolutely perfect. And I would say that's not bad. Never even knew I was there. I honestly saw that breaking a little bit more than that, and that just caught the left edge. Anyway, I normally get average about 2 birdies around, and we're on 2, and we're back to 1. Definitely feeling a little bit more positive at the moment. 348 yards we've got this 13th hole off this back tee. Meters, sorry, yards, meters. So just shaking up towards the 400 yard mark. So it's not a long hole. What am I doing here? I'm going to hit a high cutting driver, ideally, is the shape. I cannot hit it any better or in a better line than that. I think that's perfect. Absolutely perfect down there. I'm glad I went with driver than the 5 wood. I'd say I got a wedge in my hand now, I think. Being wrong. Not answering, that's spam. Get so many spam calls at the moment. Okay, 100 yards, bang on, which is the 56, isn't it? It's 102 yards, slightly downhill. So playing 100, 56-degree wedge. I'm so glad I've taken that on because, you know, 5 wood puts me, I mean, I've hit that really well, but 5 wood puts me 150 in, 50 yards further back. So, which you got to decide, haven't you, whether you're taking the risk, like I said, off the tee, or are you taking your risky second shot? And I'd much rather be going in with here with a sand wedge than a 7 or an 8 iron, because it's a tiny little green. Giddy up. Go on, I've just gripped down a bit. Go. Ah, I just didn't want to go long. That was my thoughts there, so I just gripped down slightly. And I've just come up a smidgen shy. Anyway, it was bang on line. It was a lovely strike. Take the positives. The sun has just popped out for us. It's getting warmer. The old sun cream probably coming on in a minute. So interest in this one now. Now I've come down here, I honestly thought that flag was a little bit further back and I didn't think I had much room behind the pin. But that pin is absolutely right in the middle of the green. So I could have just hit that sand wedge just normal, I think, because I just took a bit off of it too much. Uphill, little out the left. There's not a lot of positivity in that stroke, if I'm honest with you. It was one of those where I was like, oh, don't go whacking this one past DH. Remember, we're trying to make pars and eliminate bogeys. Anyway, the good thing, again, if we think about the stress-freeness, it's just a standard 2-putt. Chance of holding it are probably quite slim, I would think, from that yardage. So still a par. Par 5 coming up then. 471, we believe, yardage-wise. That's what the buggy's telling us. Anyway, great par 5. We've got a par 5, par 3, par 5. So you feel like you've got a chance to get kind of up in 2 on the par 5s and then give yourself a chance. Just wrap one down there, try and avoid the traps, I suppose, is what we're talking about, isn't it? And the diggers, go. Oh, hit the tree. Hit the tree. Oh, I've got a long one now. Anyway, I'd done that last time, didn't I? I still managed to make birdie on the par 5, so... Oh, you get it wrong round here. You clip these trees and it can make you look very silly, because I've now got about 400 yards still in. Embarrassing. Very embarrassing. Clip the tree, drop down, 317 yards left to play. Let's get the 5 wood up there as best we can. Go on then, knuckleball and go. Go on up the fairway, up the, miss the rough, miss the rough. That's really good. Very happy with that. It's a 3-shotter, but I'm happy with it. 114 yards on the up, on the slope on the up. 108, but playing 114. It's just a nice, I think it's a nice 50, whereas I battered the 50 out of the last par 5. I don't need to quite hit it that hard. I've got a feeling that flag is more on the left side, so maybe just slightly right of the flag would not be a bad position to be in. Oh, it was a bit helpy out the right there, drawing in. Oh, is that only just got to the front edge? It was a little wafty, wasn't it? But okay, we're putting. After the tee shot, you'd be happy with a birdie putt, wouldn't you? So a little bit negative on that approach shot there. That's why I've come up a bit shy, because I thought that pin was tucked more in on the left-hand side, which it is, to be fair. But I kind of just wafted it out to the right to avoid hooking it left or pulling it left. So a little bit of negative, but I was off a bit of an upslope, which does promote a little bit of a draw. Okay, I don't see a great deal in this, more just straight kind of up the hill, if I'm honest. I could hear it snag up. Could have probably chipped that. Ooh, it just snagged on me. They are not what we want, are they? Ah, that was just... I don't know how I feel about this system, you know. I just feel like it's so negative. It's so negative. Got to press for birdies. Got to press for birdies. 170 yards to that flag. However, that flag is right at the back of this green, par 3. I just feel like a little puff of breeze there. Yeah, a little bit into. 165 to the middle, 154 to the front. Don't want to go long, so 5-iron out of the equation. It's a perfect 6-iron, but that means we're going to have to hit 7. I'm actually going to just see if I can just close the face down a fraction and try and turn it into a bit of a 6-iron from here. That would be the ideal shape. Got the draw, haven't I? Just grab a piece of that green. That's pretty good. I manufactured that shot, haven't I? I'm going to get a bit of sand for that divot though. I'm putting for birdie. Oh, I'm loving it around here. Absolutely loving it around here. You know, when I first came to this golf course, probably 5-6 years ago, I really enjoyed it, but it was always a little bit rough around the edges, you know. Whereas now it feels like a proper setup, like a really feel-good factor to it, all the way around the golf course. Okay, outside chance, leaving the flag in so you can all see what's going on. Got to hit it again, DH. Go, 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 go. Oh, read it, didn't I? Absolutely read it. That was a good 2-putt, really, to be honest with you. Didn't have the right club. You could see that you do not want to go long here. So 5-iron would have been landing around here and skipping on through. Hooking in a 7-iron, 2-putt from there. Par 5 coming up. Let's see if we can get one back. Par 5, 525 yards we've got down this. This is a great hole, gorgeous hole, this one. Get a good drive away and it all kind of feeds down and runs down. But you've got to get the line absolutely spot on. Get it wrong and you're just left with a long shot in. Go on down there, a bit left. It's not my greatest drive in town, but it'll do us, I think. Won't be getting there in 2. But Joe and I have been on having a little chit chat off camera there, which probably the camera should have been on because you've enjoyed that. But it started off with me going, do you know what, I could get 5 wood out of that position. And then I'm thinking about the strategy that we're trying to play, which is avoid hitting silly shots that end up in some serious trouble. Then I thought 5-iron. Then I thought, actually, with 5-iron, the problem with 5-iron is if I don't quite get it up, I'll be stuck in this grass and this lip. So I'm now going to try and trap a 7-iron, try and put it back in my stance, and just try and get it down there to about 150 yards out. Like that. It's going to end up in the rough, I think. Maybe just short of the rough. See that? Smart play. Absolutely smart play. It's got the right angle down to that flag as well. I've got a longest shot in, which isn't great for a par 5, but at least I'm trying to do, as we talked about, trying to eliminate that bogey. Give yourself a chance to hit the green, hit the putt. You never know, you might get a bird. Considering it's like a hole which, if you get it a good drive away, you can get it on the downslope and really run it down and actually have a chance of getting on the green. To now left with my 3rd shot with a 7-iron in my hand. Somewhat disappointing. That pin is at the back. If I'm honest, it's a perfect 8, but I'm going to try and just cut a 7-iron in, just to take a little bit off of it. You know, I tried to turn it over on the last shot and draw it in to take loft off and get some more yardage. Now I'm going to go the opposite, try and open the face up, swing a little bit left, and chop it in. That's too wafty, started it too far right, come down, face is too far open. I'm hoping that's not a bunker there, because that is going to be a bit of a pickle. Drama, innit? Absolute drama. That got lucky. That got so lucky. That caught that fringe and then kicked it forward. You lucky boy, DH. I'm out with the green staff at the moment, so it's a little bit noisy around this, but let's just get out of their way. That is a fighting par, isn't it, in the end? Definitely a par, wasn't it? 1, 2 out of the trap, 3 onto the 4 to the 5. A lucky 5, I would say, in the end. Should have been a straightforward birdie. It was a lucky par. The property round here, Joe, is absolutely amazing, isn't it? Looks like they're building one just there, but these ones here, I mean, this one here looks like a scene out of Star Wars. Remember where Luke Skywalker came from when he was a youngster? It was that dome up the top there. And look at that. That there on the right hand side is it's a barbecue. That's what that is. Little barbecue. Anyway, back to our hole, which is the 17th beautiful hole. Dogleg round from right to left. 390 yards. You want to wrap it right round the corner, right to left, over the bunkers would be the ideal scenario. Let's see if I can finish with 2 really nice drives, DH. Come on, 2 nice drives. It's a little straight. It's a great hit though. It might be good, it might just be in the right rough, but all in all, it was a great strike. Perfect drive. But I've got 130 yards into that flag, which is, oh, my 50's not getting there. My wedge is what is really required here. So we're going to go with a little 9. 138. Yes, 139 to the back edge. My 9-iron goes about 138 to 140. Come on. Oh, be the number. Be the number. Birdie finish. I think that's my thought. Isn't don't bogey finish to birdie finish. I prefer the birdie finish idea than the don't bogey finish. Well, I might have to rewrite what's written on the bottom of that 9-iron, because I say 138 to 140. 138 to 140 is there to there. I've landed it 133. To be fair, I've just turned 44, so I'm just getting a fraction older, a little bit slower. Uphill putt, let that out the left. Oh, my knees went. I thought it was going to really drift off to the right hand side there. It's a birdie. I feel like I was really positive with the tee shot, really positive with the 9-iron. Positive enough to get the ball in the hole with the putt. It's a birdie. It's not a bogey, it's a birdie. Just one more. I can hear them now chanting it. Just one more. Just one more. Just want to take this opportunity to thank the Old Course at Vilamoura for hosting us here today. Amazing. So good to see the improvements that they've done to it. So I do absolutely applaud them for all their efforts, because it takes time. It takes a lot of money to invest into a place like this, but ultimately, if you get your investment right, you're going to get it back, hopefully, with the visitors that come here. And I looked at the tee sheet, it's fully booked today, so just want to thank them for letting us out. Also, just want to take this opportunity to make sure you check out Locker Room Golf. If you've not checked out Locker Room Golf, it's our kind of hub, it's our website of what we do, written articles, there's going to be the society will be brought into it, loads of little things going on then, weekly newsletter, so make sure you sign up for that as well. The 18th, the final hole, 400, it's about 450 off this back tee. I don't remember it playing this long, but it requires a really good drive and a really good approach shot. Not that same shot, DH. Not the same shot. Oh, it hit the tree. We might have got a little bit lucky there. It's hit that tree down there and kicked it right. But it's going to be a long shot in. Tree, I think I hit that tree to come in and that tree to come out. So I've got 168 yards. I'm going to have to play this with a 7-iron. Very similar to the par 3, I think 15th, where I've just to draw it in because it's a perfect 6. And it allows me to keep the ball flight down under this tree that's really looking at me. Fly the trap, fly the trap, fly the trap. Sit down, sit. Just one more, just one more. I can hear them Let me hear it. I can hear you on the couches, everybody. I can hear you. Just one more. Come on, DH. Come on. Let's not make a bogey. I don't remember a lot of golf shots, you know. I don't. The amount of people that say, oh, I don't even remember a lot of the golf courses that I go and play, to be honest. And I don't remember holes and things like that. A lot of people remember more than I do. But that one, that shot there, that goes in the memory bank, that one, because, yeah, that's back to my youth of learning how to whack it round trees and playing different shots with different clubs. And, you know, because normally I would have hit 6-iron. I've 100% hit 6-iron there on that yardage. It just makes you think about different types of shots, doesn't it? Wouldn't this be a delight? That's pathetic. That is a poor, poor finishing putt, that one. Well, that is 1 over par, I think I finished there. What do I think of that concept? I think it's very negative. I think when I get emotionally driven to make a birdie, I generally play okay. I'm not somebody that needs to concern myself about making too many bogeys because I know I'm going to make them, but if I get the chance to make more birdies, I will do. Not sure about that. I think probably more needs to be discussed around it because maybe I've just interpreted it slightly wrong as to playing a little bit more conservatively, trying not to make bogeys is definitely not something that I want to think about when I'm out on the golf course because it emotionally makes me a little bit more anxious when I'm playing. But I'd like to hear down in the comments, what do you think about that? As I said, a big thank you to Vilamoura for hosting us here at the Old Course. It's absolutely stunning, and I'll see you again on the next video.